before we pick up where we left off last time, we're going to do two things. Since I didn't have time to think of a question to ask the group, I'm going to defer to somebody else in the group to come up with a question for everybody to ask. Get real. See if anybody I can choose somebody, or if somebody thinks of a cool question or thing that they want to say about their character, then everybody else can follow suit of that same thing. Could be favorite food. Could be I don't know, favorite vacation place. It could be biggest pet peeve. Like whatever.
I can do a flashback. Okay, for Skogar.
Yeah, okay. All right.
So we're gonna flash way back. You hear a half-orc woman and whatever a half-orc doctor would be, some sort of cleric at the temple. Skogar comes out of the wound, and then they go to cut. He takes a knife and cuts the umbilical cord, and Skogar is screaming and screaming and screaming. And when Skogar was 1 year old, like the wound, the scar had never really healed. Like his whole stomach has a huge scar on it. And when he was being fed at 3 years old with a metal spoon, he goes to take a bite, and again, touching the metal, he starts screaming and screaming again, and then had, like lips blistered up, and then just a lot more moments where you get to realize that Skogar has this aversion to metal. He doesn't seem to be carrying. He's not wearing any metal or carrying any metal that he makes contact with. And at the beginning, you notice that Skogar was like covered in scars.
Nice. I like that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Interesting. I like the approach of just a random flashback. To say
he's carrying the bone. He goes with the bone longsword that he's carrying.
Yeah.
Nothing.
It's a good way to like showcase a part of your character. You can just determine what that is. So yeah. Anybody else got a unique little factoid about their character they want to share in a fun way?
I'm Velma Madani, and since we're doing long flashbacks, apparently it was a difficult birth, and more than 24 hours, that difficult. My mother died in the process, and I was not screaming like Skogar, but eventually I was diagnosed with hypotonia, and but with intensive physical therapy, I turned out to be a normal little girl, and that's how I started out as Daddy's precious thing. Gets complicated later, but it started out nice.
All right. Nice. So so what I guess it's going to be every character
origin story.
every character at birth.
Sorry for the setup, guys.
I was going to never have I ever, but I was muted.
So Jack, then does Jack remember like his parents telling him about his birth and what it was like?
No, nothing specific. I mean, he just came into this world. We call him Jack, and he just moved on.
He didn't even say like blaze ball. No, it wasn't like his first word or anything.
No, there was no like big story. It was just like, perfect little boy, all that stuff. Okay. He says as he's hanging up a poster in his wall, it looks like, it's got like some Eberron revolutionary in rainbow. Like you nice. Find it in any college, every other college dorm room also has the same exact poster.
Right. What about Lucar?
So Lucar was an orphan. He doesn't know his true parents, and somehow he was living on the streets, and he had always had some inherent magic within him, and made a little bit of money for he and the fellow urchins that he roamed around the streets with by doing like little tiny spells of prestidigitation and so on. And
Okay.
one time he didn't know he had this ability, but he did a spell and he felt this like surge of magic that he couldn't control sort of embody him and then just sort of burst out without any realization. And when he got this power, he's like, and he started like touching his friends to like ask for help. And anytime he touched their clothes burst into flames and they all sort of ran off.
Oh my God.
And it was right around that they all sort of like abandoned him. They're like, oh no, what happened? Lucar, he's gone crazy. And they all sort of ran off. And luckily that's when his parents, the still showers, were nearby. And they saw this poor boy crying because all of his friends had just run off in flames. And they're like, don't worry, come with us. And that's how he was adopted by the still showers. And that has rarely happened again, this sort of wild magic surge that happens when he does his magic. But we'll see. It might happen more often based on the house rules that are now in effect.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy. Some might say wild. That's wild, man. Wild. So what about Azuri?
So Azuri's, it isn't his birth story, unfortunately, but it is a pretty common tale that would happen when they'd entertain guests at their house.
Okay.
Is very often his father would go on about a story and would progressively get louder as he was telling it, to the point where he was almost shouting. And when he got that way, his mother would shush him as the librarian she was. And this vicious cycle repeated, a dozen times through any story that he was going on. He'd just get louder and louder and louder, then get shushed and go quiet again, and then build it back up. And it was just this wild experience. And Azuri's, he never quite understood how people talk at like just one volume consistently through a conversation, because that was not normal.
Well, yeah, that's a pretty good one. It's pretty good. Lissa, what about Lissa?
Well, Lissa is an only child, mostly because
I can see that.
Yeah, the first time her mother gave birth was an awful time, and she, I think she like medically was okay, but like did not enjoy it and was like, you're, never doing that again. One child to put all of my hopes and dreams on. This is fine.
Nice.
And so Lissa's been kind of spoiled, let's be honest. Being the only child, she pretty much just got whatever she wanted. Never experienced hand-me-downs, and yeah.
And an eccentric uncle.
Yes, exactly, to also dote on her.
Who is, to be clear, who is so eccentric that he changed his last name. So he dropped the Fern Willow name in order to have an even cooler last name.
And he is the coolest. Lissa thinks he is the coolest.
Indeed he is. Great. So it's nice to get a little bit more information about everybody. The one other thing I wanted to do that I thought would be extra fun is we're gonna have a little retcon moment, and we're gonna rewind to when there was the knock on the door at the dorm room of Skogar, Jack, and Lissa. And as you recall, Skogar was taken off by campus security. So, Skogar, you are taken by campus security, and they're walking you, and they say, as they're escorting you, not in a forceful way, in a fairly gentle way, they're like, one of them says, you need to speak to Dean Branchbreaker immediately. That's where we're taking you, to his office. And they proceed to take you to his office. And as they approach his office door. They knock, and he says, "Please enter." And one of them opens the door and walks you in, Skogar. And the dean says, "Oh, it's you. Have a seat." And then he tells security, he's like, "Be gone. This is a one-on-one conversation." And then his security leaves and closes the door behind him.
As Skogar sits down, he turns his chair around like stereotypical slacker sitting on a chair, like turns it around and like sits over, straddles it, sits his elbow down on the top of the chair.
And he says, "Young man, I'd like to know why you thought it'd be prudent to perform the vandalism that you performed on our campus."
Okay. I guess I'd like to know that myself. You see, I don't have any recollection of what happened because I was just hanging out with
Carl Merlot.
Carl Merlot.
So the dean kind of looks you up and down, and he's like, "Well, we did speak with Carl, and he said that there were some evenings when you were not together, as you were not together the entire time.
Well,
although he did vouch for you for a considerable amount of the days over the last few weeks. So you're getting on well with him then. That's good.
That was nice of him.
He could use friends."
Yeah, he taught me a thing or two about a sword, so I can show you that. See that little upflick at the end? Swinging a sword. It's Skogar swinging a sword in the dean's office.
Dean leans back, puts his hands up, and he's like, "No, calm. Let's calm down. I am sure you have some good swordsmanship. It's a very interesting sword. Is that bone?"
Yeah, that's some ancient beast bone that we found down in mines. It's very strong.
Indeed. Who made that for you? Was it crafted after you found it?
Oh, it was I guess an acquaintance of my father's. He was able to just about get anything done. So, yeah.
Interesting. Well, it's a wonderful piece. I'm glad you're learning to hone your skills with it. That's going to be important. He said, but what's more important is your respect for your alma mater, and I think that there should be some sort of I guess penance to be paid for this. Don't you agree?
Well, yeah. So when you find the guy who framed me, I guess we could talk to him about that.
Well, unfortunately, the smart stone screen doesn't lie.
Mm.
And then he holds up a smart stone, and it's like a little bit of a bigger one, like almost like the size of like a roof shingle, like some of us in our times might call it a tablet, if you will. And he sort of holds it up with two hands and shows you the footage that you see again now, just on a little bit bigger screen. And it shows you roaming around in some comfy outdoorsy clothes of yours that you keep on hand for when you're trying to just relax in the dorm, and you're going to town. You see yourself going to town, painting graffiti on the wall of the magic school. And the dean says, I don't know how much more proof you need.
So I guess that's dodeca probation then.
It is my proposal that you spend some of your off time in whitewashing the walls of the magic school. And you will be on suspension for approximately 2 weeks. What suspension means here is that you will be limited to your class time and time in the cafeteria and the cleaning of the wall. You will not be allowed to leave the campus. You must stay here.
Man!
I think this deal is more than fair.
Say so, Dean. And he just kind of walks out.
And he says, as you walk out, he tries to say, we can keep some cameras on and make sure that there's no funny business going on.
He's going to keep some cameras on this, and he kind of drops his drawers as he goes out the door.
The dean's like, the dean just goes, oh, to be young again, and just goes back to, like, he's writing stuff down in his notebook and getting back to work. So that was yeah. So then Skogar, we'll do one more little chunk. Skogar, you come back to your dorm room with Jack and Lissa there, because it hadn't been that long. It's maybe been an hour and a half, 2 hours or so. And you come back into the dorm room after having that just happened. So we can have, if there's any interaction you want to have amongst the three of you, can take a few minutes to do that.
Yeah. So anyways, they've been, they're saying I should, like, infiltrate the Thieves Guild.
Oh my gosh, Skogar, you're back.
Skogar, hey, what's up?
Hey guys, what's up?
Oh man, did you find the person who faked that video?
Well, hold on.
He faked it. He totally did it, didn't he?
We'll get to that. Well, hold on. And then Skogar goes in and he looks down at the tape, makes sure he's lining up, looking back. He's looking at a couple of the footprints, like, yeah,
that
those
totally
are
looks like you, Skogar.
right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. I think that Dean's got something in for me. Said I did a bunch of stuff, but I don't remember doing it.
You've been hitting the mead hall, Skogar.
Well, yes.
Hmm.
I don't know.
All right. Well,
so
Skogar,
how bad was it? How much punishment did you get? Did you get expelled?
Oh, are you not picking up your shit? Are you?
I have to go paint a fence. Which, yeah. So,
I hear that builds character.
So that sounds worse than being expelled to me.
There are worse things for sure.
And that stinks, dude. I guess you learned a lesson, huh?
You would think so. Yeah.
All right, so that was a little bit of retcon on what happened to Skogar. So as we go forward, and we essentially announced the next section, which is you guys are going to go take a day trip. Velma received a phone call that she then is going to share with you guys about what you're going to do. So Velma, do you need me to kind of read back anything from last time, or are you good with describing to the group what the plan is?
I got this in the evening, I believe.
Yeah, it was like.
And
well,
so
yeah,
I went back. Then I would have went back to our dorm room and discussed it with Lucar and Missouri.
Okay.
And yeah, it's a very strange thing. A very strange thing just happened. I got a call from somebody claiming to be Raymond Soreleaf, Esquire of the Artisans Guild. He says he needs us to pick up me, you can tag along, pick up a package at the Grimacing Goblin toy store. Apparently, there's a limited edition action figure set, and he wants the Platinum Knight action figure from the Defenders of Eberron. Have you heard of such a thing?
I mean, I used to play with action figures when I was younger, but I outgrew that once I got my first taste of that Blaze Blog glory.
Wait,
Well,
do you know this guy, Velma? Like, why is he reaching out to you?
I don't know, but it piques my curiosity, I tell you. He says,
that sounds like spam. You should just ignore and block it.
Yeah, I mean, oftentimes you get
maybe you're right.
You get those
maybe
texts that
it's
say,
not a
like,
hook
yeah.
into a side quest. Maybe it's just spam. Now, it'd be nice to take in a day into town. We'll go get a rail pass and go into town and just check it out.
Yeah, we'll
Tomorrow
be
is
your
Saturday, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'll be your wingman on that, Velma. I don't want you to be catfished here. There's some scammers out there.
I mean,
appreciate that.
Lucar would know, having come from a family of reputable, merchants. Probably seen plenty of shady folks come through.
Well, we better try to get there early though, because those one-off chase exclusives, they go quick. So
Nice.
So maybe we get there early and make like some sort of deal with one of the stock guys. I know that always worked for me. I made a little extra cash last summer. When the good stuff came in. We didn't get many toys in our store, but like when the good apples came from harvest, I'd always put a few to the side. And some of those grandmas, they love making those apple pies. Don't pay primo dollar for that.
Lucar, this is how a life of crime starts.
Not a life of crime.
It's cider season. I'm sure there's we can get some hard cider there in town at the cider house.
Now that sounds great. Plus, I've been meaning to get a new scarf with the school colors.
So where is this Grimacing Goblin place? Is this in Windshire? Like, I know we're in the university, but like, how is this related to the town?
So it is in a place called Marketplace, which is not in Windshire. It's a separate town called Marketplace.
I just assumed that was like the town square.
No.
Marketplace.
Marketplace is the marketplace.
I heard it was like a clever I thought it was still like a clever college bar name. Like, I'm going to the marketplace, but I'm really just, going to get drunk, That's what I always thought. I guess I didn't realize it was an actual.
Turns out if you ever want to go out to eat somewhere, you have to go to the town of restaurant.
Well, that would explain why we need a rail pass to get there.
All right. Well, I mean, Velma, if you don't mind us tagging along, I'd be happy to join you.
Is Azuri coming as well?
Azuri's hesitant, but I believe he will follow with the rest of the group.
Okay.
And as he does, like, is this like school sanctioned here, or are we allowed to go? Is this something students normally do? Is it safe there? But then I think Skogar just like drags him by the arm.
Just come on, man. You'll be cool. I guess the real question is, we know we're inviting the guys next door, guys and gals next door. Are we inviting any of our other classmates or no?
Well, I think at some point in the last week or so that an angry Skogar might have punched a hole in the wall. So there's kind of
we can
conversations just drift back and forth.
Yeah, that sounds great. I need to go to town. I do my shopping.
All right. So, what's that?
Skogar goes, well, I could punch another hole in the wall, but I don't think I should be doing that right now. Kind of watching.
You should probably punch a hole on their side to our side so that they have a connection too.
Yeah, and then they won't know it was me.
There you go. They might blame Lucar for it.
So, you guys, you get ready. Velma, you go to your mailbox, and you see that there's day passes for the six of you, for the rail, and you. So let me see. Let me pull up something real fast-ish. Need this so I can show you on the world map. I can show you where this place is. I'm going to share audio because I'm going to have a couple audio things a little bit in a few minutes here too. So, okay. Can you see the map?
Yes.
Great. So then if we zoom in, as you can see, here is Windshire. And then where did Marketplace go? Marketplace is down here, in the southern part of Ondare. So a lightning rail is going to get you there toot sweet real fast. And your rail station is right here at this little intersection in between Windshire here and then this other city called Lathlear. So that's your rail station where you'll pick up the rail. That's about like, it's a quick we'll call it about an hour travel time. You can take a coach over there, and then the rail will get you there a lot faster. It is a lightning rail after all, so it does move fairly quickly. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with you guys are arriving at the train station.
Oh wait, before we go though, because
Yeah.
Skogar's not, unless he's leaving him back. Skogar, before they leave, he goes, hold on a second. I forgot something around the other side. So he runs like back behind the thing, grabs a bucket, grabs some paint, slaps some on real quick, goes back, goes to his bed, stuffs it up, looks like a person's in there, and then just kind of like sneaks out. So yeah, they'll never know.
Okay.
Genius.
So that's a good call. So you approach you arrive at the train station. And as you look at your surroundings, you see there's a cobblestone path that leads to a quaint little train station that's in really nice condition. The outside of it is a combination of wood and stone. And as you approach, you see a set of doors labeled enter on the right and exit on the left. As you get closer to the stairs, right near the base of them, you see your classmate, Carl Merlot, and he's outside. And he sees you and says, hello, fellow students. Hey, Skogar. And he puts his hand out for a fist bump.
Hey, Carl. Heard you talk to the dean.
As a matter of fact, I did. He was inquiring and asking me how much time I had been spending with you. So I told him we had been spending many days together, sometimes even some weekend fun time. But generally speaking, we didn't spend all the time together because I figured you would want to hang out with other people besides just me.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. He gives him a fist bump.
He says, and then he looks at everybody. What are you up to, gang? I have just been hanging out here and people watching and trying to decide if I was going to go into Windshire, back to Windshire, or maybe take the train somewhere and explore.
Yeah, dude, we're heading to the marketplace, my friend. You ever been?
I don't. Please wait. And he thinks for a second. You assume it's thinking. He says, no, I do not believe I have.
Dude, it's gonna be amazing. They have toys there.
That sounds great.
Why don't you come along?
That would be fantastic. I would love to come along.
I give Carl Merlot a big slap on his back.
Says, I have had such a hard time in school making friends, as for some reason, people do not want to spend time to interact and get to know me. I suppose that's my curse. Having been a warforged in battle, I have seen some shit and likely done some very bad things I do not even know.
Wow, man, that got really dark.
I speak truth.
It's true. So I know you're looking to find yourself, both like, meta, philosophy, whatever. Find yourself literally and figuratively, I guess. Like what are you gonna do if you find out, like, yeah, you did do some shit? Like, what then?
I mean, I cannot, as of this point, I cannot change the past. I do not believe that anybody has perfected any sort of time travel. Teleportation seems to be fine, but not teleporting in time. My point for saying this is simply the fact that I would have to move past mistakes I had made and focus on how to be a better me for the future.
Dude, this is like, you should be teaching the philosophy class, Philosophy 101 in the school. That's all I'm saying, Carl.
And then he leans into you like he's gonna try to whisper, but he's like, to be honest, I have actually been talking to my counselor about a TA position there.
Look at you. You don't know what your past is. I can see you know what your future is.
And he just kind of goes, and then he gets all excited and he's like, he's kind of like, he's bouncing a little bit as he's like standing with you guys. And then he runs up the stairs and opens the door on the right side that says enter to let you guys in. As you walk into the entrance, you see gorgeous wooden floors that lead you to partition walls that has two lines. One where a few people are standing waiting to approach the cashier and purchase their tickets, and the other where people are walking through and holding something in their hand that gets scanned, and the door then unlocks and they pass through. So, left line or right line?
I guess I'm going to pass out these day passes that I got. And sorry, Carl, you only have 6.
Carl's like, do not worry. I can get my own. And
a long line. Are we going to stand there uncomfortably on the left lane while?
Well, he actually stands in the left lane with you. And then you guys are like right behind him. So then the cashier says, and the cashier sounds like that because I don't know that I can pull the voice off, but just envision, if you will, the woman alien voice from Monsters Inc. That's like, Mike Wazowski.
Yeah, Mike
I got
Wazowski.
my eye on you. Yeah.
Come on, do it.
Yeah. So she's like, next in line, step up. And then Carl comes up. And he's like, hello, human woman. I would like a ticket, please. And she's like, okay, you don't need to even deal with me. Well, actually, you do, but those ones behind you don't. They can just go through. And then she looks at you guys. What are you waiting on? Get a move on. You're holding up the line. You think? Did you get these things from Dean Branchbreaker? He doesn't explain anything to you students. You guys just walk around all confused all the time. You don't know what you're doing. And as she's saying, she's just complaining as she's exchanging money and handing Carl a day pass, and then she says, and she points at you, Lissa, and she's like, yeah, you sweetie, just use your pass and tap it to that red gem on the side.
Thank you for your help.
So yeah, so you tap, so you guys start to walk up to this door. You all tap your passes, and this door slides open.
Jack like pretends like he still doesn't like this way, and he does it all wrong, and he's just like, or this way, and he's like covering up, just being like a general jackass. So he's like, I'm just kidding, and he scams it.
She just goes, it's always a pain in the butt when school starts. And then she starts talking, the next person in line. So then you guys are all, so you're all in the waiting area. It's like a kind of a slightly worn marble tile floor. There's about a dozen or so people waiting in the area for the train to come. And then let's see if this works. You then hear as you look around the surroundings, you then hear a disembodied voice that speaks to you. Hopefully this won't be too loud for you guys either. Let's turn it down a little bit. But this is what you hear.
The rail with stops and passage and marketplace will arrive in 5 minutes.
So basically you hear an announcement over some sort of a speaker of some sort that's super distorted and fried.
You guys heard that too, right? This is not more voices in this is real voices again, right?
Oh, what are you talking about?
Nothing. If you didn't hear it, then I didn't hear it either. Nope.
Weird. Yeah, I didn't hear anything.
Jack's messing with you. We heard it,
Of course
Azuri.
we heard it. It's on the overhead.
I knew that. Yeah.
Pulls out. Oh, the announcement. Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, no.
Okay.
Totally. Yeah, totally heard that.
So
Relax, guy.
as you guys are all looking around at your surroundings, why doesn't somebody roll a perception check for me? Actually, all of you roll a perception check for me.
I gotta get my dice out.
And tell me who meets or beats a 14.
Well, I rolled
Does
17,
not.
and I know I got more than that. So, yeah. So actually, that's a 22 for me. So, I see all.
24.
Okay.
Six.
Azuri didn't see a damn thing.
I'm freaked out by the voice.
What about Lucar? No? Okay. And Skogar, you rolled under?
He's oblivious.
Okay. So Jack and Velma, so you see like this medium height, like humanoid type of individual that has just successfully pickpocketed a random person waiting for the train. And they are heading towards the exit that is they're heading like they're going to go out this way to leave. They're like start to walk briskly to get out.
Excuse me. Does he turn?
He glances for like a second and then keeps walking.
I'm trying to get a picture of him as he goes past.
Okay, why don't you roll a dex check.
That was 17.
Okay. Yeah, you successfully you get it. You're able to actually get a photo, excuse me, of the guy's face, that you can actually like make out facial features.
Well, it takes a while because I got to shake the pixie dust off the print.
Okay.
But I go up to the man who was just pickpocketed and sir, do you know this man?
Says, oh no, I can't say that I do. Can't say that I do at all.
He just took something from you and walked out.
What? No. And he starts tapping his pockets and he's like, son of a, and he just runs off to go try to catch the guy. And he looks back at you and says, hey, thanks, lady, and just takes off. So yeah, nice little heroic moment there. Well done.
Velma's not a really stabby person, so she probably wouldn't get, directly involved.
That's fair. Makes sense. And reminder, Alyssa, you're the one that gets the free advantage roll this evening, if that opportunity arises to use it. So, so nice way to go. And then you hear this announcement.
The rail has arrived and will depart in 2 minutes.
So as you hear the voice, you hear in this series of rail like a engine, for lack of a better term, is at the front end of it, and then you see it's got like three train cars attached behind it, and it pulls up outside. You can see through the windows it pulls up. So you have basically 2 minutes where you can either walk around, look at stuff, or you can head out here, and you can get on a rail car 1, 2, or 3. So up to you guys what you want to do.
Carl with us?
Yep.
I've heard if the train crashes, we want to be in the last car.
Now, why would you say that?
We don't. I don't want to get stranded here, so we should let's
move.
Yeah.
Is there like a vendor of foods, a food vendor here?
There is not.
Oh.
You do see like there's some brochures on the table, like ones like, check out it's a info on season tickets for like Windshire Wyverns Blazeball games, and then there's just like some random flyers of different shops and stuff that are in the area in Windshire and stuff. So it's a lot of Windshire heavy brochure propaganda, whatnot, on the tables for people to take.
Jack, if you're hungry, I got something for you. And I open up my jacket and pull out half of a baguette. Say, here you go.
Oh, perfect.
All right. So if you guys are heading out, what rail car are you getting on? Are you going to split the party? What are you doing?
Well, let's
3.
go. Yeah, let's
Yeah,
go on
I'll get
3.
in
So,
3.
yeah, give Velma, ease her mind, I guess. Jesus.
No, I'm
Okay.
just saying.
It's good to be
Okay.
Rail
practical.
travel is
about these
very
things.
safe. It's almost safer than air travel.
Okay.
Almost.
So Carl says says, great choice. I would have picked the same. It's best to be on the end just in case it explodes or crashes. Sorry, I meant crashes.
Mhm.
Sometimes my wires cross.
cool.
and-
Cool.
And he walks on to train car number 3. And all of you are on this car. So as you can see, this is like your little engine powered by lightning. And then you've got car 1, 2, 3. You guys are all on car number 3. And yeah, it's a pretty chill ride. Like there's a few folks sitting on some benches nearby, about six people or so. And there's a few folks sitting and towards the back of the train. A couple of them are like, there's a couple standing, like just leaning and like holding onto a rail up above and everything. And then you hear a voice in the over the train car that says we will be arriving in Marketplace in approximately 10 minutes. And then about a minute or so maybe after that, you see that so like on each end of the car there's a door, right? So one side the door is connecting to car number 2, as a regular train would be, but then the other door, the other end of the car, that door is not connecting to another car because it's the end, right? So you take a glance over, and then you see that all of a sudden that back door just gets kicked in and opens up, and
Whoops.
and you see two people, kind of just appear in the doorway, whether they were like riding underneath or up the top, you can't really tell. And it's two what look to be very unsavory characters, and they take out daggers and they yell at everybody and they say, "Hands up! This is a robbery. Give us all your money." And a bunch of people are like freaked out, and they're like, "Oh!" and they got their hands up. And one person's trying to put their hand in to give money. He's like, "Hands up!" And he's like, "But how do I give you the money if I have both my hands up?" And like, so it's this whole thing. But then, so So they just start like they walk in pairs down the benches, and they're just like one guy's holding a dagger at the person as the other guy is like taking money and valuables from them. And they just keep going down the line, and they're getting closer and closer to you guys.
Are these benches set up in such a way that I, as a halfling, can be hidden from them?
I mean, like in between, yeah, but the thing is, you're going to need to have somebody like in front of you. You can't just like squeeze in between them because they'll see you. That makes sense.
Yep.
I would like to stand up at this point and just really just get into their faces and be like, you better get out of this car right now, drop all this stuff and jump out that door and just get the hell out of here before me and my friends destroy you. And I would like to, I guess that'd be an intimidation.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay.
I'd say you pass.
Yeah, I got 21 on that.
Did you really?
Nice.
I did get 21 intimidation.
Um,
And somehow in some way you like it looks like Jack is like just the way he's standing, it's almost like he's like 3 or 4 inches taller than he normally looks, like he just looks taller.
like he's like kind of stepping up a little
Yeah,
bit.
just like you're like, man, has Jack always been that tall? He just like has this he just looks
Okay.
taller.
Gogart kind of goes, oh.
so these two guys, like they each of them they take one of their hands, they pull their hood off, and because they have like hoodies on, so they pull their hoods down, and they're both drow elves, and they're looking a little scraggly, and they look at you. They kind of, because you're like a little bit taller than them, and they look at you, and they kind of eye you up and down. They look at everybody else, and then one of them looks at Carl, and is like, and kind of steps back a little bit, like apprehensive, like hey, and he nudges the other guy, and he's like, hey, that's one of those things those things cause the Mournland. We gotta go.
Hey,
we gotta
don't
get
be
the hell
afraid.
out of here.
No, don't be afraid of him. No, be afraid of me. I'm the one.
And the other guy goes,
That guy's the least of your problems.
the other guy looks at you and goes, well, yeah, I mean, yeah, you're not great, but that guy, but that guy, yeah, I don't, that guy, you don't even want, if you've seen the kind of stuff that guy did, or guys like him, and they just go, we don't, this isn't worth our lives. We're just gonna take the shit we got, get out of here. And they both run. They both take off and run towards the back.
Should we be an initiative?
Past us?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we can try to do something for sure. Absolutely.
Well, shit, I'm not gonna go first.
That's a 16.
Okay. Let me find
It's a 19 for Skogar.
All right, so we've got Jack with a 16, you said?
Yes.
Skogar, 19. Okay, who else?
Missouri got an 8.
Good job, Azuri.
Better than
Solid.
Got a 5.
Okay.
I also got a 5.
Velma first or Lucar first? Probably Velma.
I have a dexterity of 12.
Mine is 16.
Really? Wow. All right. Got it. And then Lissa?
Got a 4.
Solid.
Oh yeah.
Nicely done. All right, that's cool. So we have Skogar, we have Jack, we have Thief number 1, Thief number 2, and then Azuri, Lucar, Velma, Lissa. Okay, and on that note, Skogar, what would you like to do?
So if they're running past, and he's within melee range. He's going to go. Oh yeah, I just learned something, guys. And he uses one of his battle master maneuvers now that he's level 3, and he swings down. I guess his fist. He probably doesn't have his sword out at this point. And that is a 17 to hit.
Yeah, so that's a hit.
And in lieu of doing any damage, he would like the person to make a strength save as he's trying. I said disarm attack, right? That's what I was doing.
Okay.
And he's trying to take the bag of loot or whatever the guy's got.
How does an 18 do?
Yeah, I assume that beats. I actually haven't looked up the save DC for that, but it's got to be lower than that.
Yeah, I would imagine considering you're level 3.
Right. Yeah.
It's probably not too high yet.
I'll look that up now. But yeah. So he tries to grab the loot and doesn't.
Yeah, and the guy says to the other guy, it's like, Jesus, it's like they're trying to attack us. This is some bull crap. We got to get out of here. And they just keep running. So at this point,
Skogar kind of uses his movement though to kind of like impose himself in the middle of the aisle, making it hard for the next one to get by if that were to be how they're staged.
I would say that's a negative.
Okay.
So like pretty much probably you and Jack would be the only one with any kind of a melee opportunity based on where everybody's sort of hanging out. That's how I'm looking to approach this. Oh, Jonathan, roll for Carl. Initiative for Carl, please.
Carl, all right.
Because you're going to determine what moves he does.
Yeah, let me pull up his thing on another screen here.
And yeah, while you do that, Jack, you can talk about what you want to do. Because you are next. You're muted.
I would like to take a dagger out, like as the one who's running away, just like throw it at the back of his head.
Oh damn! Okay.
Well, because I know you said like it's all non-deadly unless specify otherwise. So
yes.
I would love to use my skills to like make it so the butt end hits him instead of.
Oh, fair. Yeah. I got you.
That's how I'm doing it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on.
19.
Okay.
That is a dirty 20.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So you right at the base, you get him, you tag him good. And it kind of like, but I will say it's not so much just with the bottom of the hilt as much as it is just from the side. So it kind of like smacks like this way across the back. So it's like, what is it, perpendicular, right? So what damage would it do?
That's going to be 9 points of damage.
Dang. He's like, ah, and kind of like starts to like stumble a little bit, like almost like he's going to trip. And then since Carl is technically at the same as Skogar, he can go next.
I'm like, leave this stuff behind, idiots.
So what's Carl going to do?
Carl, assuming he's close enough to them, is going to go ahead and just give him an unarmed strike to the first guy and then follow up with a bonus unarmed strike to the other guy.
So as you get ready to roll, I want to describe this. So Carl, like you guys are all like you watch as Carl like springs into action and like takes a single like a single jog and sort of jumps up and does this like martial arts move, like martial art pose, and comes down upon the one guy for this unarmed strike. So that's how you see this take place.
17 to hit the first guy.
That is a hit.
That's 4 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
follow up, he like spins and tries to like backhand the other guy. That's an 11 to hit.
That is not.
Okay.
So you said what was the damage on the first one?
Let me check. It was 4.
Okay. All right. So he actually as he gets hit, he drops the pouch of stuff that he had, and he just keeps running. He's like, man, he's like, F this. This isn't worth it. I'll figure out another way to pay for school. And he just keeps running. And the other guy's like, he's like, oh man, it's like, you're just a wuss, giving up too easy. I never should have tried to have you bring you along on this job. You're too green. And then he sort of like skids as he's, mid run, and tries to reach back to pick up and grab the pouch of stuff. And with a athletics check of 16, he's going to grab that pouch and continue moving. So the number one guy, who's gotten the most injured, who's the only one that's gotten injured, he's already close. He's close to the door. And number 2 has grabbed the stuff, and he's shortly behind him. Azuri, it's your turn.
Azuri, the guy who still has stuff and just attempted to grab. I am going to cast Sleep centered on his position.
On which one? Number 2 or
the
or
one? The one who just tried to grab the drop.
Okay, got it.
And this is so Sleep is anywhere with
number of hit points.
Yeah, it's number of hit points. And it's in a 20-foot, I think, sphere from where I point. So there might be other people in here. I'll let you play.
Okay.
Okay. But I'm just centering it on him. Still an inexperienced spellcaster. And I get it's 5d8 worth. So that's 23 hit points worth.
Okay. He's like he's running, and then he kind of like pauses for a split second, and he's like, oh, and like shakes off this really huge yawn and just starts back to running again. And then it is Lucar. It is Lucar, your turn.
So the guy who is the sort of bully to the other one.
He's the one that's got the 2 pouches. Yeah.
He's down?
No, he's up.
Oh, he's up.
Yeah. The sleep was it was not enough hit points to knock him out.
Got it. I say, hey, don't give that guy a hard time, and education is a very important thing. And then I shoot a ray of frost at the bully guy.
Okay.
And I got a 18 to hit.
That is a hit.
And I do 7 points of frost damage.
Nice. The guy's like, ooh, as like he gets like a blast of frost at him, and he just gets super cold and is like, and just keeps trying to keep moving, but now his pace is slowed a little bit. And a couple of people in the bench that's nearby him when that happens, they kind of go, oh, and they jump back in their bench, because like there's like all these frost shards that are kind of coming off the hit, where they're trying not to get hit by it. And you see some people are like whispering, like, are these guys heroes? These guys are they gonna stop the bad guys? And then you hear you see this one little kid, he's like, Mama, they're gonna save us. And so everybody's like kind of getting there. It's like a whole ruckus. Some people are yelling and screaming, and so there's a lot of noise going on with all these rando NPCs that you don't know who they are. And next up is going to be Velma.
All right. Well, those knives I stole from the kitchen in the last week or so, I'd had, since they proved so poorly in our first battle, I had removed the handles from them and taped up the tangs and ground the heels to an edge. And one of them I will throw at the bag he is carrying, trying to just slice it open.
Okay. Athletics check that bad boy.
You know, I'm going to do a dagger. It was only an 8 on the 2 hit anyway, so it just sails past him.
Yeah, it misses him and the bag. Nice attempt though. And then Lissa, you're up.
Lissa is going to cast Mage Hand.
Okay. Nice.
She wants to try to grab the bag and like pull it just to like kind of slow him down. That's her goal.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you cast it, and then is there I feel like should the hand make some kind of a
I mean, we can. Yeah, like a dex or something.
Yeah, make a dex save. Make a dex check to see. This will determine how graceful this is.
All right, that is a 16.
Okay, so the mage hand. Describe what this mage hand looks like.
It's like let's say a blue hand.
Okay.
Disembodied, little.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it like a hamburger helper kind of hand, or is it like a more slender type of hand? Like, what are we talking
slender,
about?
yeah, matching Lissa, yeah, for sure.
Okay. So it's like, so it kind of floats around, and then it just grabs at the pouches for a second, and I mean, it can only do 5 pounds, right? So so it's kind of the guy who's carrying them, like, so he like kind of feels his hand pull back for a second. He's like, and he looks around. He's like, oh. And like it just kind of jump scares him, but he still manages to hold on to them. And now he's running with this mage hand, like trying to yank on the pouches just to mess with them. And we are back to top of the order with Carl.
Carl is relentless in trying to track these guys down. You might say he's like a machine.
Indeed.
And is going to go ahead and try to pursue these guys, and is the one that's carrying a bag. He's going to try to unarmed strike them, and he's going to do it where it's just like a blow and a blow on like either side of the neck. It's like karate chops. Just
okay.
Guy.
So he's gonna run like all low, right? Like kind of like crouch down a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna slide and stand up in front of the guy, and he's gonna go chop chop. And
chop 1 was a 13 to hit.
Okay, that is a hit.
For 3 bludgeoning damage.
Okay, and this is the guy with the pouches, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And chop 2 is a 23 to hit.
Oh, for sure.
For 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
And the guy's like, oof, oof, oh. And then he's like, and he's like just kind of thrown a little bit, but he's still trying to make his way, knowing that now he has to go around Carl to continue to get out. And Skogar, it's your turn. If you use movement, if you run up into the action, you can get in a melee attack unless you want to do something ranged.
Okay, and they're trying to. There's like a door at the back, right?
Yeah, they're so close. Like this is like probably when it gets to their turn. Like, well, I'll put it. Yeah, this likely might be the last round. We'll see, depending on what you guys do.
Okay. Skogar goes, we're gonna have to slow him down. So he's gonna run up to, I guess, the one in the back. Then that would be the one accessible to him. And he's gonna go and try to do a tripping attack. Hey,
okay.
All right.
Because the one in the back's the one that's got the mage hand on the pouches that he's holding on to.
So as he's trying to get looking away, back at that mage hand, Skogar goes back out and tries to knock his feet out from underneath, and then slam the sword down and then knock the feet out. So he cuts down, and that is a 19 to hit.
That is a for sure hit.
Yeah. So he does 10 points of
Holy
slashing
cow.
damage.
Holy cow.
And
This
then it
guy's
must
like-
make a strength saving throw.
15.
15. All right, so I did determine 13 is my maneuver save DC. So he was unable to trip him. But Skullgirl goes. He looks down into his pocket and he grabs the paintbrush that he's carrying back from painting the fence, and he goes, "We better mark him." And he, as a bonus action, he whips forward and uses his level 3 skill that you gave this character.
Okay.
Called Bounty Hunter's Mark.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay.
And he tries to whip it at the one that was the most emboldened.
Okay.
And see if he can hit him. As a bonus action, you mark the target. It's for free, but given the flavor, I'll roll it if you care, because I'm going to throw the paintbrush at him and literally try to mark the guy with a paintbrush.
This is too good. No roll for this. So you whip the paintbrush at him, and it just like it spins in such a way that it just kind of goes. It just does a slash on his back of white paint as it falls to the ground. And this guy, you hear this guy just muttering, "What the fuck? What's going on?"
And he looks back at him, and Skullgirl goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna find you." And that's his turn.
When you say that, his eyes get super huge. Jack, it's your turn.
Did these guys drop the bag yet? Is it
No,
not at all? Oh.
So the one guy has both bags with a mage hand still clinging to them.
I would
just give him a whooping.
So it's just chaos right now on this train car.
I'm just gonna run up and tackle that dude.
Okay, do it.
All right, let me see what an unarmed strike is. Plus not a lot. A 14 to tackle this guy.
You managed to snag him by his ankles, and he falls. And at this point, he lets go of the pouches as his face just eats train car floor. And the other thief, the one who was talking about paying for school, he's like, "Yeah, I'm out of here, man!" And he just jumps off the open door of the back, and you see him like tumble off.
See you in class.
We are at this point. We can be, almost out of combat, I would say. You do have him.
I guess, after I tackle him, I just with the rest of my action, I just grab the bags and just kind of not kick him hard to damage, but just kind of kick him with my foot, as I
okay,
toss the bags away.
He's like,
take the bags away from me.
as he takes a boot to his side, and he turns and he looks up at all of you while he's in a prone position, and leans himself up onto his elbows and just kind of is halfway sitting up, and he's like, all right, just let me go. Just let me go.
This is the saddest train heist I've ever seen, by the way.
What do you know about train heists?
What do you know about train
all
heists?
novices
That's
here.
a valid point.
Touche. Nicely done. He's like, ugh, and he just starts to crawl away, towards the door, and slowly to see if anybody's going to stop him as he's trying to just leave.
The bags have been removed from his possession, so I guess we don't care. I want to follow, though. I want to see, how did he get on the moving train, and how's he going to get off?
So, are you going to ask him something, or are you going to interrogate him or ask him a question?
I just want to see.
Oh, okay. So you want to watch and see what happens?
Because I'm sure he's not going to willingly reveal his secrets.
So he sees that no one's stopping him, so he crawls a little bit more, and then as he's maybe about 15 feet away from you guys, he stands up and then just he just like looks at all of you, and then just does a 180 and runs and jumps out the back of the car, and then you see him start to fall, like he's gonna fall and hit the ground, and then next thing you know, he's gone. Just
Like
disappears.
Blinks away.
Yep.
Mm.
And after you do that, then everybody in the car is like they're clapping, they're cheering, they're all so happy. And the one little kid like comes up to you, Jack, and he's like pulling on your pant leg, and he's like, "Hey, Mister, hey, Mister, hey, Mister, hey, Mister, hey, Mister." You're muted.
What?
It's like that was really cool. You're so cool and awesome.
Yeah, I am. Do you see I threw that knife too? That was pretty cool, and I collect that up.
It's like, yeah.
Blaze ball, son. Blaze ball.
Yeah. And then he turns around and goes,
Sign his
Mama,
rookie card for you, kid.
Mama, I want to learn how to play blaze ball.
Yeah. Go to Windshire Academy when you're of age.
And he's like, Mama, I want to go to Windshire Academy.
Whose stuff is this? Take your stuff back.
And a couple of the people that come up, they're like, "Oh, thank you so much." And they take the stuff out of their pouch, and then like as they're grabbing like coins, each one of them like gives you a coin out of what they take back. So in total, you get about 5 gold given to you as a thank you.
Oh no, I couldn't as I shove it into my pockets.
And everybody sits back down. And Carl comes up to you and says, well, Jack, that was quite heroic of you. I am proud to call myself your friend.
Did just the two of them just come in and just like this is all they had is just give me your stuff.
Some of these smaller trains on the countryside occasionally have these roaming bandits, but it seems like one of them may have been a student.
Yeah, well, maybe this was a thieves school test. That guy just failed.
I would say they definitely did not perform well.
I would not want to go back.
Crosstown rivals.
If that is the case, their teacher will not be happy with them.
No, I mean, just walk in and come into the car and just steal.
So, and as you're finishing up the conversation, you hear a voice over the speaker. You have arrived, and you pull into the rail station at Marketplace. The station looks very similar to the one that you guys left when you left from. And then all you have to do, you have to get off the train and exit the station. The town of Marketplace is like a quarter of a mile from the station, and you are able to walk there and get there fairly quickly. And when you reach Marketplace, you see a series of shops in a cluster, as well as a bunch of outdoor market stands. Because it's really all this is. It's literally the town of Marketplace is literally just a marketplace, and that's it.
It's not just a clever name.
Correct. So as you can see, each area on this map is numbered. So I'm going to save a little bit of time from the whole like, oh, let me walk up and see what's on this door and go and like kind of make this go by a little quicker. So I'm gonna read to you what the numbers are, and then I'm gonna take a quick bio break, and you can figure out where you want to go. So number 1 is Akhmaved's Sweet Shop. Number 2 is Cold Stone Creamery. Number 3 is Farful's Book Binder and Bookstore. Number 4 is Armory of Ondare. Number 5 is the Grimacing Toy Maker. Number 6 is the Purple Plum Market. Number 7 is Billarn the Butcher. And number 8 is Poppy's Potions and More. And then in the center, you see the are all like there's a big statue in the center along with a bunch of farm market and small merchant stands. So I'm gonna be right back and think about where you want to go and pick it up in just a minute.
Skogar is just looking for a dorm room poster. I feel like I need to have a dorm room poster. Do we want to go as like a group, or do we think that everybody picked like a store?
Yeah, what did the message say, Velma? Is there like a
The
come
message
alone
wanted
kind
me
of
to go
deal?
to the toy store, but we got time, don't we?
Or just when don't want to blow your
Well,
cover if we should have
Yeah.
hiding out back
He
or
said
whatever.
there was only one left. I guess I should pick it up before somebody else swoops in.
That sounds good.
Then we can go to the Cold Stone Creamery.
Oh yeah,
Heck
definitely.
yes.
Azuri is fine going anywhere. He just wants to be like in the middle of the group. He feels very, very like everyone's watching him. So he's fine going anywhere, but he's like as long I'll go anywhere with you guys as long as it's with you guys and not by myself. So wherever, I'm fine.
So Azuri does not want to split the party.
I want to be. What I mean by that is I want to stay near you, some number of you all.
Isn't there any of these stores you want to go to, on your own? Just I don't know. Like we kind of spend a lot of time together. Maybe we should just go our own separate ways. Meet back in like an hour or so.
I'll go where you go. I'll find something interesting there, but I'm not gonna run off by myself here now.
No, this is your time to branch out and just do your own thing.
No, it's not. No.
Azuri, I've seen you in the library. You want to go to the bookstore with me?
Yeah. Books. I like books a lot. Books are.
I really enjoy ones about animals and bugs. Those are pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't see why a bookstore though. Like, why would we buy them? You can get them from the library. It's better. You don't have to pay for them there.
Well, maybe they got different books, man.
Exactly.
I'd like to
The
look at the books.
library's full of books of stuff they want you to think.
Exactly.
You gotta go search on your own.
Mm-hmm.
There's fun books in the library too. I read many of those. They're interesting stories.
Oh, like histories?
Just stories, not even histories. Just stories.
You mean like made up?
Yeah.
What? Why would you waste your? Okay, it's fine.
Make up good stories. I like reading those stories. They're fun, and they're fine because they're not real, so no one actually gets hurt.
So where have you decided to go?
Bookstore.
Toy store.
So I'm talking about the bookstore.
I think we're splitting.
I think
Are we
we're splitting
splitting?
the party.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go to
Okay.
the bookstore.
I'm going to
Skogar does want
the
to go.
toy store because the guy said it was the last one, so
Okay.
I don't want someone else to swoop in and get it.
Okay. So toy store is who? Velma. Who
Lucar.
else?
Car.
Lucar.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else?
I'll go with the toy store crew.
And then bookstore is Azuri.
Yep.
And
Lissa,
Lissa.
what are you doing? Lissa?
Yep.
Okay. And Skogar.
And Skogar, who was yelling toy store, going into the bookstore.
And then
We'll all meet up at the creamery.
and then where's Carl?
Mhm.
Uh,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where do you want Carl to go?
Somebody did tell Carl to go to the toy store with them, right?
So
Earlier.
Carl says, I think I would like to enjoy some whimsical things. I will go and look at the toys.
yeah.
So Carl goes with Velma, Lucar, and Jack. And okay. So let's start with the bookstore first. So Azuri, Lissa, and Skogar. So all of you reach the bookstore and you see this big elaborate wooden sign on the outside. It says Farfel's Bookbinder and Bookstore. And as you open it up, there you hear the traditional little bell ring of a door opening. And you walk in, and it's just walls and walls of books everywhere, as just books on top of other books on top of other books, like just so very like it's organized. It's an unorganized yet organized mess, if that makes sense. Because like you see, there's stuff on bookshelves, right? But then there's stacks of books, but they're all stacked like in this very organized like way. So like if it's like a pattern almost, right? So some of the books are like they might be skewed, but they're skewed like in a pattern. So it's like so it just looks very impressive to see. And as you walk in, you hear oh hello there. And this from behind a stack of books, you see this little dwarf like pop his head around. He's like, hello there. How may I help you? My name's Farfel.
Hi, I just looking. Thanks.
Good morning. We're just looking around today. Do you have any blank books and pens and like school supplies as well?
No disrespect meant, but did you read the sign?
Well, yeah, but you can have books that are empty and like journals. Those are also books.
I bind books. I sell books.
Okay, all right, no problem.
These books all have writing already in them.
Perfect. Then we're just looking.
You can the schools have the places with books like that.
Mm-hmm.
It says Arcanics is a good school with lots of books to write stuff in. And he looks at you, Skogar. He's like, you read?
Skogar goes, toy store. Oh, crap.
He's like, oh, you want toy store? That's a couple buildings over that way.
Well, I may not read the best, but I do enjoy studying maps. Do you have any books that foretell the land and
come with me? And he doesn't even let you finish. He just starts strutting to the back of the bookstore, and he's like this very overly animated, like waves you back, and he points you at just a one whole like bookshelf, just filled to the brim with just atlases and map books and all kinds of stuff. He's like, it's organized into city, country, continent, and other worlds? ? And he's like, the other worlds one, kind of debatable. Think it might be fiction, but I still sell it with maps anyway. Take a look. It's like, take a look. And then he goes back to you, Azuri, and he's like, you sure you don't need help?
Well, there's one book I was looking for. Do you know the story series, Azusa's Many Journeys? The new one is supposed to have her go to Eldraine. That's the name of it. You don't happen to have that one, do you? They don't have it at the library yet.
It's like, oh, new release.
Yeah, not that long ago.
Month or two.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and he's like, hang on, and he just like kind of like you see him like he goes up to all the stacks of books that are like all like cool, organized in a cool way, and he just starts to like wind his way through them. like very nimbly, like a snake, but like he's a dwarf, right? So you expect he's like going to be all burly and shit, but he's so like ginger and like just careful. And then you see like a hand with a book in it pops out from the stack, and you hear his muffled voice go, "Trigger, trigger, trigger."
Azuri like very tentatively like grabs the book,
and it's the book you were asking for. And then all of a sudden you see him, he comes back out and he's like, "Oh, it's hard to breathe in there." And he says, he looks at you, looks at the book, looks at you, looks at the book. You buy book?
I'm used to like buying books to help my mom at the library. I've only ever bought one other book before, and it was a school book. So yes,
he just kind of puts his head down and sighs. He's like, and he looks at you and he goes, he buy book. He's buying book.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how to buy stuff.
Correct. Yes.
You show him how to buy stuff.
Of course.
And he just holds his hand out, looking at you, Azuri, and he says, 5 silver for a book.
Yeah. He like fumbles with his pouch and jingles, through it and like drops a silver piece on the ground, and it starts rolling, and he chases after it and eventually does get like all 5 silver pieces and hands them over, and then it's just like holding this book with like almost a sense of wonder of like this is mine. This is nice.
And the dwarf, one by one, the dwarf gnaws on every single silver coin to make sure it's real, and then is like, "Okay, you good people. You come back anytime you want."
Yes, I will.
And he looks at you, Lissa, and says, You don't need anything?
I'm just looking. Do you have like a zoology section about animals and creatures?
Yeah. And he's like, and he motions you back to a different section separate from where Skogar is, and you see a smaller bookshelf than what Skogar is in front of. And this one's all just a bunch of, it's animal books, insect books, all this stuff. Why don't you do a quick perception check for me?
All right. That's a 11.
Okay. Yeah, we'll say that's enough. You happen to see one book that looks a little bit older than the other books. It's catching your eye a little bit more.
Oh, that sounds cool. Lissa will pick it up and take a glance.
And in some very like fancy font lettering on the outside cover, it says Mage Breeding for Dummies on it.
Nice.
And so yeah, so Skogar is looking at map books. Lissa, you're checking this book out now. And Azuri, you got yours. And so we're gonna go to the other group over at the Grimacing Toy Maker. So I'm assuming, so Velma, I see 2 of you on the Zoom. So at least one of you's there.
Yes, I'm here. I'm looking
Sweet.
for, I assume, a grimacing goblin.
Yeah. So
Is there anyone who looks like a store employee, red vest, anything?
So you walk in. You lead the way, walking into the Grimacing Toy Maker, and so as you walk into the toy store, you hear a bell jingle as the door opens, and the rest of the group, so Lucar, Jack, and Carl, they all walk in behind you, and it's a colorful and cheerful toy store filled with all sorts of toys and collectibles. The walls are adorned with bright posters and banners depicting various toys and characters. The shelves are packed with a wide variety of items, ranging from stuffed animals and dolls to board games and puzzles. In the center of the store, there's a large display table filled with the latest and most popular toys. Around the edges of the store, there are smaller tables and shelves featuring more specialized items, such as rare collectibles and hard-to-find items. At the back of the store, there's like a countertop of like a workshop area. And you see what appears to be a purple gray skinned tiefling behind the counter, moving some tools around and arranging some what appear to be slightly broken toys. And he glances up, and sees you, and he's very well dressed. And he says, "Well, why, hello there. Welcome to the Grimacing Toy Maker. My name is Grimace, Tiefling Toy Merchant. How may I help you on this fine autumnal day?"
I've been told that you're holding a special Defenders of Eberron action figure.
Says, which one in particular was it?
I don't follow the series, but I think it's a Platinum Knight.
He's like, he looks at you and he's like, he says, oh, it's unfortunate you're looking for that one. Someone just came and picked up the last one. They said they were
picking Raymond Soreleaf by any chance?
No, but they said they were picking it up for him, and they seemed very excited when they got it.
Hey, free day, I guess. Who's going to the green?
I mean, was that not supposed to, is there did I do something wrong?
Apparently, Mr. Soreleaf Esquire duplicates effort and then to make sure that the job is done.
Oh, Raymond Silverleaf you speak of?
Silverleaf. My handwriting is terrible. I haven't used a quill pen before. Raymond B. Silverleaf. Let me just scratch that out.
I mean, I guess I don't know. I was holding it for him. This person said, I'm here to pick up something for somebody, and it's this. And I said, okay, here you go.
Could you describe this person so when I talk to Silverleaf, I can describe the same person, and you could say, "Oh, that's my other agent."
Oh, but of course. So he was a halfling in stature, with short curly hair and a green tunic. He seemed very excited about the Higadorn figures, as a matter of fact. And then,
while I'm here, why don't I get myself a set of polyhedral dice? Never know when you're going to need those.
That sounds great. We have some lovely ones over in the back. That's we have some made of glass, some made of stone, some wood.
The metal
lovely
ones,
sets.
Just not the metal ones, because the tetrahedrons tend to be pointing like caltrops. You know what?
Oh yeah, they take chunks out of the table.
Give me a whole bag of metal tetrahedrons. Maybe I'll find a use for those.
Sounds good. 10 silver for those. Those are handmade after all.
Let me roll a D10 to see how many silver I'm actually carrying. D20, so it can cover a D10.
Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
Since I'm a college student, who knows how much money I actually have in my pocket. Luckily, I do have 15 silver in my pocket. So maybe there'll be some left over for that ice cream.
So you pay for the dice and he hands them to you and he says, and I do, in case you wanted to, I don't know, maybe maybe if you wanted to have a conversation with this patron, as maybe you may have more interest in the figure and may wish to purchase it from him. I think I recall him saying he had to get some groceries from the Purple Plum and some potions from from Poppy's. So maybe you can find him in one of those two places if you head out fairly quickly.
Maybe we could split up.
Even further.
Yeah. Because there's 4 of us here, right? So 2 of us go to the
I mean,
potion
yeah,
shop.
there is.
You were not
There is.
expecting trouble.
I mean, I don't necessarily. I mean, this is your side quest. So, like, what if we do find him? What do you want to do? Just ask him, like, are you making sure this is getting to it? Like, what are your thoughts, Velma? Like, where do you want, or does it not
I
matter?
am going to on my phone slab. What do we call those? Talking stones?
Smart Stone or Talking
Smart
Stone, yeah.
stone. I'm going to go back into the phone app and dial the unknown number that Esquire originally called me on, and find out who else he's got working on this.
Okay, so you call.
And
While
it goes
he's
to
doing that,
voicemail.
Where are those other 2 stores in relation to where we are?
So the Purple Plum. Okay, so hold on. Let me get my bearings here.
6 is the plum shop. 8 is the potions.
Yeah, there you go. Man,
Which one
keep
are
track.
we in now?
Number 5
We're
is
at
where you are.
5.
Well,
Yep.
while you're making the call, I'm going to wander over to 6 to see if the halfling is there.
Well, I can walk and talk. I mean,
Okay.
I'm not that. My dexterity is 12. It's not like 8.
All right, so you're so does that mean are all 4 of you just going to go there? So like Jack and Carl. So Jack, you come. They basically they found out that the person who purchased this picked up this toy either could be at the Purple Plum Market or at Poppy's Potions. So Lucar had mentioned splitting the party yet again.
Cool.
But you could also choose to go with Lucar and Velma as they're going to go to the market.
No, I'll go to. I was interested in the plum shop, anyways. So
the plum shop is the market, the Purple Plum
okay.
Market, and that's where they're going.
That's so nobody's going to the other place.
Nope.
Then I'll go to the other.
Not if you choose to go to the market. So you're going to go to the potion store.
I'll go to the potion store then.
Okay. So Carl will accompany you. Carl says, "Is it okay if I go with you, Jack?"
You drink potions? No, that's fine. Yeah, come on. Yeah.
Is and he just starts randomly talking to you. Is Jack short for Jackson or some other sort of longer name?
It's just Jack. Just Jack.
Just Jack. I like that. I am just Carl. I feel that. And so he's just trying to like have relatable conversation with you. And Velma, you call that number, and you hear when the voice there's a person picks up, says hello.
Hello, this is Velma Dimitani, and I'm calling for Mr. Silverleaf Raymond Silverleaf Esquire.
He is me, and that is I, and that is who I am. Why is it that are you getting my toy?
Do you have anybody else in your employ looking for this toy?
No, I don't have anybody else. I said 6
Would you
of you
know of a
altogether.
halfling who
Why
would
would I
have
need more
dropped your
people?
name?
I know of no halfling that would drop my name.
Okay, so I'm going to assume then that this is somebody who is opposed to your interests. If
I mean, I don't
know why they would say they were looking for you. They were working for you. They
I don't understand what dropping name
item.
means.
Okay.
What does dropping name mean?
Well, I'm going to keep this short because we got a halfling to track down. But apparently there is a halfling who told the toy store owner that he was working for you, and he picked up the object that you were.
He cuts you off.
You
And he's
had
like,
on hold.
no, I need my toy. You must get me. I will pay you more money. Get me the toy. Do you understand?
Well, yeah, it's pretty plain there. Yes.
And he hangs up.
All right, so I tell who's with me is Lucar,
Lucar's with you, yeah.
and then Jack and Carl went to the potion shop.
Yes.
All right.
So
I tell him the gist of it, that apparently this halfling is an agent for some other creepy fellow other than Mr. Silverleaf.
All right. So
Okay.
if we poke our head in 6 as we're like walking and talking, do we see this halfling?
all right, so before that happens, so Jack, you know that like Velma was mentioning about looking for the halfling, so you're saying that you and Carl will go see if that halfling character is in the potion store.
Definitely.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yes. And then let's go back to Azuri, Lissa, and Skogar. Lissa, are you buying the book?
Yeah, why not? Sure.
Okay.
Yep.
The dwarf says, 3 silver.
Here you go.
Says he kind of chuckles as he takes the silver, and he's like, he mutter, you hear mutter under his breath, she's a mage breed dummy. And he's like, and then he goes to you, Skogar, and he goes, you like map books? You want to buy map books?
Yeah, I saw this book here on Droam. So he picks like a random like area of Corvair, you know,
Okay.
Yeah. And it's like just a bunch of maps on one of the little sections, and it's called Droam, Droaam. So if that's permissible, that's what he finds.
He looks up at you, and he's like, oh, good sets of maps. He's like, 3 silver.
Okay, well, I also was looking through, and I seen this little flip book of posters over here, and I'd like to take this poster for my dorm room. And
okay, what's it a poster of?
So as he was flipping through, Lissa hears him go, "Oh yeah, definitely this one." And I was trying. All right, so it's a mimic, like a mimic chest, like all splayed out, but it's got a bikini on it. It's like a mimic.
No,
spicy.
That is great. That is great.
And I'll take this one. So what's that?
He's like, oh, no one ever buys that one. Give me 1 extra silver.
Yeah. Okay. Deal.
So he's like, okay, you guys got to get out. I need to take lunch break. Go, get out of here. And he says, thanks for business. Now go. And he kicks you guys out, and then he like closes the door, locks it, and puts a sign. And then the sign turns the sign around and says, "Out for lunch or closed. Haven't decided yet." And did you guys want to continue wandering around? Do you want to maybe see if you can find where the other gang is, or what do you want to do?
I'd be content to look for the other gang.
Yeah, I think we would head back over towards. I think we'd go from where we're at in the bookstore down to the toy shop, because that's where we're expecting to find them.
Okay.
Right.
Well, we said we'd meet up at the Cold Stone Creamery.
That's true. So maybe we should go there.
Well, you guys are coming out. What number is it? 3?
Yeah.
Right.
3.
Right. So as you come out of 3, you see everybody leaving the toy store all at the same time. But you see that because you walk out and you see all these guys come out from down here, but you see them break off into 2 different groups. Some heading towards 6 and over the building number 6. Some heading in this direction.
Looks like they have some more shopping to do.
I'm just like, but I'm not backwards, right? The creamery's there. Where
Yeah, no, totally, it is.
try to find them
Yeah, let's go. Let's go after them.
with everyone.
But which group? Where are we going?
Well, we have to head down that way one way. We'll find. We'll go catch up to him. We'll go catch up to him.
Okay.
So
And while Azuri's doing this, he positioned the book underneath his cloak and is like
okay.
gripping it with the one hand the entire time.
Okay. Holding on to it tight. All right. So you guys.
So is Skogar with his poster.
So we only have a few more minutes left, so we're gonna have to determine if we want to talk about the market or the potion place. And I think we want to talk about the market since that was the first place chosen.
Here's the one
so
that'll give a good cliffhanger.
So as you go, that's tough because the juicier cliffhanger would have been a little bit later. So, oh, you know what? I got one for you. So the bookstore group, you see that they're all leaving. So you're like, oh, let's catch up to the gang. And then Lucar and Velma, you're walking towards number 6, and then let's see, where did I put it in this thing? Here we go. And you see, so Lucar, you look at as you're walking towards the market, you look at this little stand right here with the orange awning, and you see a sign hanging from the top of the awning, and on the sign it says "Still Shower Mobile Shop." The shop is spelled with 2 P's and an E.
Okay. I'd be like, hey, Velma, I have to go check this out. You continue looking for that halfling. I'll catch up with you. And then I head over to the orange end.
All right, great.
I'd call after him. Yeah, we'll meet up at the creamery.
Got it.
See how many we could split this party. One person in each party. So Lucar, here's your specific cliffhanger. So Lucar, you approach the stand, and you see a person who's standing behind the counter, facing the direction of stuff behind them, kind of like meandering around. Like the movements look kind of familiar, and the person turns around, and it's your dad.
Oh, Dad.
Yeah,
And he's
what's
like,
up?
oh, Lukey. It's like, what do you think of that? What do you think of the stand? Isn't this a great idea?
I mean, you're far from home. I would have thought without me being at the shop, you guys would have had your hands full, you and Mom trying to keep the thing in order. How do you have time to build a new shop, travel all the way across the continent to Marketplace, set up a thing, and not even tell me about it? I mean, come on. I've only been at school for a couple weeks.
It's been close to 2 months now, Lukey. We got a lot of wheels turning in the background. You know, we gotta keep the funds coming in.
Why is that?
I mean,
you can afford Windshire, can't you, Dad?
I mean, Windshire's covered. That's no worries there. No worries there.
Then what do you need the money for?
We're trying to invest and expand.
Sheesh.
Don't you once you graduate, wouldn't you? I mean, you know, maybe you want to take over the store, or maybe even have your own.
Man,
how great would that be?
I never really thought about it. I didn't think
franchise, boy.
I didn't think the shop life was for me, but I don't know. You give me a lot to think about, Dad.
And he says, yeah, this we're just trying to bring more cash in. Lucar, because you went to school and some of the townspeople they still need help. You haven't been there to help them, so we've been picking up the slack and doing what we can.
All right. I mean, okay.
Everything's fine. I got a couple distant cousins that have come by and been helping us out to get this whole network set up and working.
Okay. Well,
It's a good little system we got going here. You should walk around and check out some of this. Honestly, you should go look that plum market. That's got some neat stuff in there. It's got some interesting ideas. You should go check it out.
all right. I guess so. I wish you and Mom would have told me, like I got this tablet for a reason, this smart stone. You could pick up the phone and give me a call once in a while.
I told your mom that she should probably let you know what's going on, and I I mean she's her own woman, Lukey. You know this.
I guess so. Hey, you haven't happened to see another halfling moving around, have you?
You know, uh, as a matter of fact, I think I caught a glimpse of one. He was wearing some really obnoxious green color.
Yeah.
He's just wandering around shopping. But he was walking around with this. He just come out of the toy store. He had a bag in his hand. And he was walking all looking like proud, like he just won the day.
Hmm. All right. Well, I'm gonna go take a look for him. I'll be talking to Ma later on tonight. I'll
You
talk to
know
you
us.
later.
You know us still showers. We're people watchers.
Yeah.
You know how we are. We got to watch out for our. You know, we got to make sure there's no unsavory characters trying to steal our stuff now.
No, of course not. No one would ever take your stuff in a way that they didn't need it.
And so that's where, yeah. So you get a little dirt that there's a halfling wandering around. Um, so we'll pause you there. Um, Azuri, Lissa, and Skogar, your story will end as you catch up with Velma to the plum market, and you walk into the front door and you see an area that looks like this, and it's this really nice, elaborate indoor public market area with a lot of different stands that offer a lot of really cool things. It's like one part antique shop, one part snack bar, one part um, bakery. It's like it's a co-op almost, if you will, of a lot of like this like a unique combination of goods and services that are being offered. Um, it's filled with vendors selling a wide variety of wares. The air is thick with smells of cooking food, spices, and perfumed oils, and many of the stands each have their own specialty. Um, and then for Poppy's potions, Jack, you and Carl walk in, and as you walk in, you see a very slender and attractive woman of an indeterminate age with long curly hair dyed a bright shade of purple and very impeccably dressed. Um, Potentially could have some pointy ears, looking to be like an elf of some sort or half elf maybe. Um, and she sees you, um, and just kind of smiles and nods slowly as she's working through some vials and moving some things around. And then out of nowhere, this little friendly gnome guy comes walking up, and he's like, howdy, welcome to Poppy's. My name's Fitch. How can I help you? And that's where we can pause there, um, as he greets you, and then we will pick up next time with you guys checking these places out and determining if you're going to find the halfling or not, or if you're just going to say screw it and do some shopping and head back to school.
Sounds good.
Nice.
I might not be here next Wednesday. Oh, it is my birthday next Wednesday, so
Nice.
I might
Aw.
have other plans.
Nice.
I don't know.
Nice. Well, I would just say, if that's the case and you don't come and you still want, like, if there's anything you want Jack to do, well, like that I can represent on your behalf, I can do that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let
All
you
right.
know when
Cool beans.
stuff. All right.
Will the party catch the elusive mystery halfling? Will Carl Malone drink a potion? Will Skogar put up his sexy mimic poster in his room? Answers to these questions and many more on the next episode of Eberron Adventures.